All right, guys. All right, credit to Penn State. Thought it was a clean game for the most part on both ends. Just made a few more plays. So credit to them. I think they got a good team. So, questions?
The defense on Pickett late, just what did you think about it? Did you know, what was he able to capitalize on there down the stretch?
Yeah, they were just they had 5 shooters out there, so they were just attacking the switch. We had a different ball screen coverage. I was trying to sub out some matchups that I didn't think were in our best interest, but ran out of a timeout where I wish I needed to use the timeout when I used it, but in that situation I would have called a timeout, put a better defensive group in there.
And then just in terms of overall effort, I mean, the last 3 games I think had all been kind of blowouts by the end of the game. This one, obviously came down to the wire. Was that a positive sign for you?
Yeah, no, I think as I mentioned the other day, I thought we looked like an organized team that competed in 24, 25 minutes of the Purdue game, and I thought we looked like that today. But we got to keep playing the right way. We got to keep playing the right way, and that's the biggest thing in front of us.
Back when you guys played at Nebraska and you had a couple losses stacked up, you said you felt the weight of those losses on your team in that game. And I wondered today, when you're going through this losing streak and you got a chance in the last couple of minutes, and the last couple have been blowouts, did you feel like there was a cumulative effect of guys not knowing how to make the plays they need to make in the closing minutes?
Well, no, I mean, obviously, we've not converted in those situations when we've needed to, really, on either end, defensively or offensively. We've got to get better at getting the stop when we need it, and our offense late was not the issue. We were able to get the ball where we wanted to. We were able to get good shots. Give Penn State credit. They were able to attack some matchups that we knew they were going to. But our offense, we executed really well late. We just couldn't get the stops we needed to.
And then when you have someone like Bryce who sat for I think like 9 minutes there in the second half, and like you said, offense was working, and he said guys were out there doing well. He was fine with being on the bench for that long. But like, what are you coaching him in those moments when he's watching and what his offense can bring you?
No, I mean, I thought the group that was out there played well, and man, that's how, as you know, Adam, that's how it works. The group played. That group was playing well. That group took the lead that was out there. I don't even know who was on the bench and who wasn't playing. I'm not aware of that. I just know that group was playing well. So they stayed out on the floor. You as a coach, you're not taking into account this kid's been out this number of minutes, that number of minutes. You're seeing who's playing well. That group was playing well, defending well, and executing offensively. We took the lead. That's who we went with.
Chris Michael was just in here and he's talking about the losing streaks. They lost 4 in a row, and then he said the Maryland game turned it around for them. Even though they didn't win that game, he said that kind of lit the fire underneath them. For a game like this where you don't win and you've lost a bunch in a row, can it be a turning point? And did you feel like this one was different?
The biggest thing we're trying to measure, as I've said, guys, is the number of quality possessions we're having. Are we from game to game, are we having quality possessions on both ends? I thought we had some quality possessions. That didn't make any of us feel any better, but you're always evaluating that. Listen, I thought we shared the ball better. I thought we passed to the open man. I thought we trusted the pass a little bit better. I didn't think we rebounded it great, but there were certainly some positives. That's all we're measuring right now is the quality of our possessions from one game to the next, and there were some good ones in this.
It seemed like a strong first half from Felix. You said he struggled at times against some of those smaller lineups. What do you see from him today?
He didn't get matched up. We kept him on their bigger lineups. He didn't get matched up on any of their smaller guys. So it's an area he's got to grow in, playing a 5 that can pass, dribble, and shoot, and being able to close out and make the right read. I thought Felix did some good things. He also looked young at times. He's got to be the second off the floor at his size. He's the first off the floor too much. But I thought Felix did some good things. He's got to rebound it better.
Chris, the last sequence, 5 missed threes there at the end, down 4. Just what did you think of the looks? Is there anything ideally in that situation you would have preferred guys to do, or were they just taking good shots?
Yeah, down 4. We ran an action to try to get Sean a look to his left, and I thought he had an okay look. to be honest with you. I mean, you're down 4, you're not gonna get a super clean look at that point. We do need to get a 3, and at that point, we need to take a 3. I didn't think we needed to when we ISO'd Justice the possession before. I thought we could get a quick 2 and foul, and we did that, but we did need to get a 3 there. We got him coming to his left. We kind of got it on the matchup we want. We knew they were gonna switch 1 through 5. And then we had some clean looks off the rebounds, so I don't have a big issue with any of those looks.
Coach, only 1 turnover today on offense, one of your more efficient games as a team in that area. What can you take from this game in that area and moving forward, work on with the guys?
Yeah, and I mean, they're a team that doesn't turn you over a ton, but I think the biggest thing was, we passed the ball at the right time, at the right place, to the right guy. We moved it in crowds, in traffic, and we didn't force things up for the most part. I thought Isaac was able to find some guys. I thought Bryce made some nice reads, Justice as well. And listen, we made some shots that we have struggled to make at times during this stretch. So that always makes things look a little better.
With how this season has played out, it's been a clear emphasis to go a little bit younger than starting these last couple of games here. It's 2 losing streaks, pretty much with a win in between both of those guys. What do you want these young guys to take from these last couple of games of the season, and how it can maybe help you going into the off season and propel you to make sure that this isn't something that becomes a long-term issue when you're losing this much?
I think as coaches, we have to do a great job at defining what wins and what loses. In this league and in college basketball, in the midst of these struggles right now, we have to imprint it on their brains, what wins and what loses. And you can certainly take lessons from that in both outcomes. But I think that has to be imprinted on their minds, on their brains, of what wins and what loses. And the margin for error is typically pretty small. And I think, hopefully that's the biggest thing that's coming out of this, because it's, if that's not being communicated, then all of this is a waste.
Do you feel like that all is getting across, just by how their demeanor is in practice, how they maybe played today at all?
Yeah, I mean, I think to a degree. I do think to a degree. I think to a degree. We still have to play smarter in situations, but I do think to a degree. We were able to, we have been down 5 or 6 at times and had really loose possessions offensively and defensively that have allowed a lead to go to 8 to 10. I didn't think we had those as much tonight. I thought we had better possessions. So hopefully that's being learned.
Chris, to follow up on that, at the end of the first half, you guys kind of avoided that opponent run that's kind of hurt you these last few games. But at the same time, like Pickett only played like 9 minutes. I think he had 1 shot. You're happy to be tied, I'm assuming, but did you feel at all like you missed an opportunity because he was sort of ineffective in that first half and you couldn't pull away?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, I do a little bit. He's such a focal point of what they do. They tend to go to him more in the last, they go to him throughout the game, but then they ISO him late in the last 4 minutes with their small lineup of 5 3-point shooters. So I do feel like we missed an opportunity to maybe get, a couple possession lead with him on the bench with 2 fouls.
And I know sometimes you seem to respond as if we make a little too much out of rotations and minutes and stuff like that. To your point, Bryce sat, you were down 1, water back, you were up 1. So that group out there did play well.
Yeah.
But the end result was you only 14 minutes of game time without Bryce taking a shot. Is that okay in your mind? That's fine rotation usage of a guy who's scoring the ball as efficiently as he was today doesn't get a shot for 14 minutes?
Well, it's a valid question. They're both ends. There's 2 ends.
Yeah.
And I think we're looking for groups that, and that group was really competing on both ends. And it's not to say he wasn't, but he's got to continue to grow on the other end, Bill. And there are times where it does impact our team. And he knows that. He's working hard on that. But this is about our what group on the floor is performing, and I thought that group performed well.
Bruce, Bruce seemed really assertive with the ball and scored at a pretty good efficiency. Just, is this the kind of growth that you're hoping to see out of him to continue? He could be potentially a lead guard for you, going forward if he
Sure.
continues to do this.
Yeah, no, I thought he played aggressive and loose, Steve, and confident. And, he's had those moments, as you know, throughout the year. He competes on both ends. I think, and listen, all of our guys, I don't wanna say, guys, I think all of our guys compete on both ends. It just the way Bruce has been kind of raised and brought up, he's very much a two-way player. And you can play him for 36 minutes, and certainly if he's scoring the ball like he is, he's impacting the other end as well. His attention to detail on 10 was fantastic. And 10's a big weapon for them, and he chased him the whole night and made it difficult for him. He's highly detailed for an 18, 19-year-old kid. And when his offensive game provides what it provided tonight, he really helps us at a high level.
Can I, Chris, if you don't want to answer this, that's fine. Just, this is a rough season. This is not something you've gone through much in your career. Where are you at? Where's your head at right now as a guy who's trying to teach young guys how to play and dealing with a rough season?
Yeah, as much as possible, trying not to think about, what has happened, or even, obviously I'm excited about these young guys, but not even thinking about the future. I really am, Doug, just trying to be consumed with the present and how can we help this group more. That is it. That is really it. And listen, I've said this, when you're in these roles, you understand that a lot of people are impacted, and a lot of people feel, from former players to alumni to our fans, and you carry that, and you feel it. There's no question, I carry it and I feel it. I know our staff does, and we're trying to stay in the present moment and focus on getting better as much as we can.
Thank you.